Getting that done, I had some money to actually spend on Bakugan, and since most of the ones you start off with easily get left behind by more powerful ones, it's easier just to buy instead of upgrade. Going into the next tournament is where stuff gets a bit more overwhelming if you don't actually know the game, so let me try and explain what's on your screen. In this new map, which actually helps water Bakugan more if you didn't guess by all the blue surrounding your screen, we can throw our Bakugan into the field and move around in order to gather more stuff for the battles. With the disadvantage of having stamina that drains faster than meth addict syringes, we can get to places a lot easier by targeting one specific place in the map. By going towards this ramp and falling in, we'll be pushed into a sort of dedicated ramp where we can collect these coins that boost power. Another thing we can get are these cards that are usually floating around somewhere, and by grabbing these we can get different effects for our Bakugan, or even ones that mess with an enemy's vision. They're pretty useful early on, though the visual one kind of becomes minute since the AI can figure out where the fuck they want to go since they don't have eyes. That's all you really need to know right now, but there is a little more I'll get into as we move on. As for how the tournament went, it went by pretty easily, beating the first pair, Jenny and Jules, who fortunately don't really have any special Bakugan on them. The next two, Billy and Combo, who I always for some reason related the two with Timon and Pumbaa from The Lion King, weren't much of a problem. I will note, however, on the Bakugan that both of them have, since they aren't much of a problem right now, but as time goes on, they'll get a bit more scary to go against. Billy's main Bakugan is a Cyclops looking dude who I've always loved the design on, but just never really got to use it. His power is pretty high for being early on in the game, but as we move on to a different map, that will create more of a threat than the place he's the weakest at. Pumbaa's special Bakugan is a small harpy looking thing that screeches like a madman when you beat it. Apart from being annoying, it's just an enemy to look out for in the later stages, especially when its attribute aligns with the stage. With mainline characters, this rule kind of triples, as the power for every big name Bakugan is easily starting at 400 and can go up to 700 when combined with their gate cards. For now though, let's get through the normal tournaments first. The next two fights were with Julio and Chun-Li, with Julio having Chaos Bakugan and Chun-Li using Pyros, which is the same as Dan's. Julio's special Bakugan is the fucking creepiest thing to look at, especially in the next map we play in, since it's just a giant eyeball that rarely blinks. I hate going against this thing, but I'll get into the reason why later on. As for Chun-Li, her Bakugan is fucking sick. I'm just going to show it on screen because I have no way of describing this thing, but I will say, I usually just try to ignore this and Julio's Bakugan at all costs in order to get by. It's a terrifying world we live in, but either way, we beat these two with relative ease. The last fight of the match is against Runo, who we fought against in the first tournament, and Marucho. Runo will have her special Bakugan this time around, but other than having high power enemies, she isn't the biggest threat here. Marucho, on the other hand, is our main worry, as the most of the fights can easily go in his favor with the map matching his type. His special Bakugan is easily my favorite out of the whole game, since it has the ability to switch types, but the main reason is one I'll show later on in the video. For now though, getting through this battle was a bit of a challenge, but not to say I had trouble. Just using the normal strat of going through the same route over and over would help my Bakugan get to a way higher level